Thinking of starting an LLC in Maine, but really worried about missing a form or a deadline, or even worse, making a mistake that can cost you your liability protection? Well, you're right to be cautious. But in this video, I will walk you through each step of forming your Maine LLC, flag the pitfalls to avoid, and show you how to keep everything legal, simple, and stress-free. Oh, and keep in mind, there's one decision early on that'll either protect your privacy or put it at risk, which we'll cover here in just a bit. Now, Maine offers a strong environment for anyone that's looking to launch an LLC. So first, LLC owners dodge Maine's franchise tax, which saves you money that other states might take just for being a business. Add that labor costs are a bit below the national average, so your payroll dollars will go a little bit further. And Maine's startup climate is steady, affordable, and gives you a running start. Now, if you want to give your business solid odds in its first crucial year, well, Maine is a smart place to plant your roots. But what's the very first step that you actually need to take? Well, it all starts by picking a name that makes your business stand out and checking that it plays by Maine's rules. So let's dive into how to choose and secure the perfect name for your LLC here next. But I have to say, before we jump in too deep here, here's one thing to keep in mind, right? So starting your business, it should be exciting, not overwhelming. But forming an LLC on your own, that can get confusing fast with all the legal forms, the rules, and easy to miss details. Now, I'll walk you through everything in this video, but if any part of this feels confusing, I've got a favorite LLC formation service that I've used myself that makes the whole process super simple and stress-free. It's guided, beginner-friendly, and only costs $39. So if you hit any bumps along the way, just click right up here to get step-by-step help to set up your LLC the easy way. All right, so back to the naming your LLC, right? So this step, it might sound easy, but it can be a little tricky if you don't know what you're doing. So first off, Maine has some specific rules. So your business name must include limited liability company or an abbreviation like LLC or LLC, no exceptions. It also needs to be unique. So you can't just add the or and to an existing name and call it new. Plus, you want to avoid anything that could confuse folks into thinking that you're a business that is, like a government agency. So skip words like State Department or FBI, even some words like bank, attorney, or university. Those also need extra approvals or licenses to use. Now, checking if your dream name is available, it's pretty easy. So just hop onto the Maine Secretary of State's corporate name search tool, which is linked to in the description below, along with any other resources that I mentioned throughout the video. From there, you want to enter your name idea, and you want to leave off the LLC part for your search to keep it broad, and then scan for anything similar. The key is to make sure that your name is available before you invest in logos or a website. Now, if you find your name but aren't really ready to officially file the paperwork, you can reserve it for 120 days by mailing an application and a $20 fee to the Secretary of State. All right, so ready to move on? Well, up next, let's examine how to properly pick a registered agent who will keep your LLC running smoothly. So picking a registered agent, it isn't just a legal checkbox, right? It's a move that can save you headaches and help you keep your personal info private, which is what I was hinting at in the intro of the video here. So a registered agent is your business's official contact for receiving legal documents and important notices from the state. They help to make sure that you don't miss time-sensitive paperwork and keep your personal address private. Now, while you can be your own registered agent in Maine, I'm a big believer in using a professional service. And with that, I highly recommend Northwest Registered Agent for this job because I've used them myself and I know that they're good. So first off, they specialize in privacy, right? So when you sign up, they'll use their Maine address on public records instead of yours, so your personal address will stay out of public databases, which is huge for privacy. Second, their customer support is famous for being patient, friendly, and actually helpful, not just, a robot reading from a script. And if something confusing pops up, you'll be able to talk to a real person quickly, and they'll walk you through it. Northwest will scan any important documents right away and upload them to your secure online account the same day so that you never miss anything that could put your business in jeopardy. So simply put, Northwest delivers peace of mind and professionalism. Plus, there's no annoying upsells or spammy emails either. So if you want to check them out, it's only $39 to get started. And again, you can click right up here to learn more. Okay, so let's keep rolling here and talk about how to actually file your Maine LLC paperwork so that everything's official with the state. Now, it might feel a bit old school and kind of annoying, but to file in Maine, you'll need to print and physically mail in the Certificate of Formation, which is Form MLLC 6, to the Secretary of State, as Maine doesn't offer online filing at present. The filing fee is $175, payable by check, money order, or credit card if you include their charge authorization form with your mailing. Now, for the Certificate of Formation, you'll need your LLC name, your registered agent's name and address, and confirmation of whether your LLC is managed by members or managers. Now, if you're starting a professional or low profit LLC, there's a spot for that too, but most small business owners, they can just skip those sections, right? And a quick hint here, don't overlook the required customer contact cover letter, right? That's actually important. It's just a simple sheet listing your LLC's name, your contact details, what forms you're sending, and if you want expedited processing, and also where to mail back your approved paperwork once it's done. Now, regular processing usually takes about 10 to 15 business days, but if you're in a hurry, you can pay $50 for 24-hour processing or $100 for 1 hour processing as well. And once approved, you'll get your official Certificate of Formation returned in the mail. Just make sure to keep that document safe, as it's kind of your proof of existence of your company, and you'll need it to open up your business bank account and more in the future. Now, after this step, you're ready to take care of the next essentials for your main business, which is setting up your EIN to help you keep those business and personal finances totally separate. So think of your EIN, which is your employment identification number, as your business's social security number. It's a must-have for taxes, hiring employees, and opening a business bank account. Now, the good news is that you can get your EIN for free online in about 10 minutes on the IRS website, even if you're the only person in your company. Now, one thing I'd advise, and why the EIN is so crucial, open a dedicated business bank account as soon as possible. Now, it makes your bookkeeping way easier, and it protects your limited liability status if you ever blend your personal finances with your business finances, which, by the way, I never ever recommend that you do. Now, most banks, they will ask for your LLC's Certificate of Formation, your EIN, and maybe your operating agreement before they'll actually open the account. And a bonus tip, setting up a business credit card can actually help you build your business's credit and put a good distance between your personal spending and the expenses for your LLC. Now, next up, we'll talk about ongoing maintenance for your LLC and what you need to do. So this is an area where too many business owners let things slide, right? It can cost you big if you're not careful. So think of this section as kind of your cheat sheet to keep your LLC legit and avoid any possible mishaps or fines. So here's the big thing to remember. Maine requires all LLCs to file an annual report every year by June 1st. Now, the filing is simple. You can log in online, update your info, and pay the $85 fee. Ignore it, though, and you'll rack up late fees, and eventually, the state could actually dissolve your business entirely. And trust me, getting that reinstated is a headache that you do not want to deal with. And that's also where having a great registered agent helps, right? Because they'll remind you of these deadlines so that nothing slips through the cracks. Now, annual reports aren't the only thing either. Your business may need other paperwork depending on what you do and where you do it. So for example, if you open a bakery in Portland, you'll need city licenses and maybe even a food handler's permit. So planning to hire employees? Well, you have to register for payroll taxes with Maine Revenue Services. Selling products? You want to register for a Maine sales tax ID. And finally, make a habit of keeping digital or paper copies of your annual reports, licenses, and correspondence with the state. It makes tax time much smoother and saves your skin if you're ever audited. Small steps like this are what really separate the fly-by-nights from business owners who are in it for the long haul. Now, up next, let's lay out exactly what these compliance and ongoing costs will look like so that you're never caught off guard when you're trying to keep your business afloat year after year. Okay, so let's pull back the curtain here on what it really costs to launch and run your LLC in Maine by breaking into the startup costs and the ongoing expenses so you know exactly what to expect. So startup costs first. So the Certificate of Formation required, that's a $175 one-time fee to file with the state. This will officially create your LLC. And you can always get it expedited if you want, which is optional, $50 for a 24-hour service or $100 for same-day processing if you're in a hurry. Also, name reservation. This is optional. This is $20 if you want to reserve your name before forming your LLC. Next, registered agent, optional. It's $0 if you serve as your own agent, But if you want more privacy and reliability, you can use Northwest Registered Agent, which is $39 for the first year to begin. A DBA, which is a doing business as, also optional, $125 if you want to operate under a different name than your official LLC name. And then business licenses or permits. So costs here really vary based on your location and the industry that you're in. A local business license, that can run $100, but check with your specific city and type of business. Now you can expect to spend anywhere from $175 total if you do everything yourself with no extras, up to around averaging $450 if you add other services, right? Now next, let's examine your ongoing yearly costs, which are important as well. So first, annual report fee. That's required $85 per year. That's due every June 1st, and it keeps your LLC active and in good standing. If you skip it, you could risk late fees or having your LLC dissolved entirely. Next, registered agent service. So this is optional, $125 per year if you're using a pro service like Northwest Registered Agent to keep you in compliance at all times, which again, that's what I recommend. Local licenses, permits, right? Some towns, cities, and industries, they require you to renew licenses or permits each year. Now costs here, they vary, but plan at least $50 to $150 and check what applies to your line of work specifically. And that's really it. Now, again, to help with all this, I advise you to use a service like Northwest Registered Agents, which again, you can click right up here to check out, as they'll help you stay in compliance year after year while you could just focus on the important thing, which is running a profitable business. Now, if you have any questions for me or you're a little bit confused about the process, just drop me a comment below and I will do my absolute best to help you out as soon as possible. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.